We're going to try a method called the no-dig potato method. It's an experimental process for us. Follow along. Sponsored by... Stop before you dig. Call Digger's Hotline first. Call 3 business days before you dig. It's the law. It's completely free and it's for your safety. Know what's below before you dig. It's your responsibility. Call Digger's Hotline or visit them at diggershotline.com. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to a no-dig potato method. Now you've seen on the program we've done the traditional ground method of potatoes. Well, we have some space here and I'm going to try something that I've seen online, and as we know, not everything online is true, but different resources have said this will work. Now, what they've used in those methods is straw. We're going to use a combination of a lot of organic material we have just around the garden. The main material right now is going to be leaves, dry leaves from last year. We cover the beds, all of our beds, with a tremendous amount of shredded leaves each fall. So what we've done here, this is a bed that for the past 2 growing seasons has had butternut and spaghetti squash in. We can't do that anymore because we really don't want to go more than 2 years. So what we've done here is we've divided this bed up in half. We're going to have 4 tomato plants on this side, and we're going to have our potatoes on this side. Now, this bed has been prepped with a number of products, or organic products, over the last since fall. We removed we worked the bed, we removed the vines from the spaghetti squash. Then we came in with pears that had fell and smashed on the ground from our pear tree, and you can see some of the remnants of the pears here that are slime, that are rotting away. Then we put 5 or 6 40-gallon trash can fulls of shredded leaves on this bed last fall, and we walked away. Well, before we put the leaves, we put coffee grounds, a couple of 5-gallon buckets of coffee grounds on this bed as well. So that's a lot of organic material in this bed. So now what we're going to do here is I'm going to take 1 bag, which is about 2 cubic feet of certified leaf compost, and I'm going to cover the bed right here with it. Before I do that, I'm going to incorporate some organic fertilizer. I'm going to add some bone meal, and I'm going to add some low, like a 4-6-6 organic fertilizer to the bed here before I put the compost on. So I'm going to take the compost, and it's about 16 square feet here. So I'm just going to take the compost and pour it out, and we'll level it out on the bed here, about 2 inches thick is kind of what I'm wanting to get to the point of. Good certified compost, leaf compost. Now I'm going to level this off. And where the compost is, that is where we're going to plant the potatoes. Okay. That looks pretty. Okay. Now I'm going to take our seed potatoes, which are rose fin apple fingerlings. This is a longer variety of potato. And we're just going to plant them and nestle them in the compost just like I would if I was going just like if I had a trench. So with these, we have sprouts on them, so I'm going to put the sprouts vertically up. So in this instance, I would plant it kind of in that angle so the sprout can go up. And I'm going to do a crisscross method here, kind of like one triangle back and forth to kind of space them out, but try to get as much in here as possible. The ideal of this whole no-dig method is we'll cover this up with organic material, and they'll begin to sprout and grow through the organic material. And at the time of harvest, we just move back the leaves, and we'll also cover it with dry grass clippings as those become available in the yard, and just keep mounding it up. And then once the time of harvest comes, then we just move the material back, what's left, and we should have potatoes setting very easily to harvest on top of the ground. So that's the ideal of it. How well that will work is yet to be seen, but we do have this little space that if it doesn't work as well as I have seen it work, we're not wasting a whole large area of real estate here that could be utilized for something else. So we're getting these planted. Put one at the end here. Okay. Some of them I did split, or I did divide in half because they had multiple eyes on both ends. So now I'm going to take my bone meal and my organic fertilizer, and I'm just going to try to get it around the potatoes, doing the recommended applicational rate for this. Bone meal will help. It's got a high phosphorus number, which is the center number of your fertilizer bag, and this will help stimulate good root development and flower production. And potatoes are a root product, are a root, so that's what we're looking for. And then I've got a organic 466 fertilizer here that I'm also going to work or cover here. Since we're not burying the potatoes as we would in a traditional method, I'm incorporating a lot more fertilizer than I normally would, because these potatoes are going to search for nutrients since they're not actually buried in the soil. So that's what I'm doing this. So if it seems a little excessive, it may be. All right, so now what we'll do is, I got some shredded paper here. It's a lot of shredded paper. I'm just going to do a fine cover of that, and then I'm going to roll this whole mound of wet leaves and dry leaves and mound it up on top of the potatoes. So we're just kind of learning as we go here. There is a lot of this stuff, so we're just going to try for the first time and see how it works. This shredded paper will biodegrade into the soil, so it's nothing too bad. We'll mix some of it in with the compost. Okay, now I will take my leaf rake, or my strong hard tine rake here, and I'm just going to cover these up. We'll get grass clippings from the yard, let it dry, and then just keep layering on top and on top through the growing season. This will take, these potatoes will be about 120 to 130 days, and we'll just keep an eye on it. And this may be one of the greatest things we've ever done in the garden, or one of the worst projects we've ever attempted to try. So either way, we'll see what happens. Okay, so this was our experimental patch. It's about 7 foot, 10 foot, somewhere in that area. And we had just put leaves on top of our potatoes, which should mean it's going to be much easier to harvest them. You can see some of the remnants here. So I'm just going to pull this one up and see what I got. Oh my. Much better, much easier to dig than what we were doing over there. It's just the initial pull-up of a plant. These are the same fingerlings that were over in that bed that we just harvested. That's the seed potato there. And I've got, potatoes here, so I'm going to see how easy this might be. Now I got to watch, I got an irrigation system in there. So I'm just going to kind of go through here and find the plants. Now we do have some weeds that have grown up in here, but oh my, much easier to dig up here. Let's see here. Very unique characteristics of the potatoes. Oh, here's some more. Just easy to, what was that? I saw something there. Maybe I didn't. All right, let's see what else I can dig up here. There's another plant that's right here. Now this is some green here, so we will avoid eating that because that's got some toxic to it. This is the seed potato, so that's not edible. There's a little bit of portion there that's not green that we're going to save. I'm going to get this out of the way. That's part of our irrigation system. Here's some more potatoes, and I'm sure we can just continue to dig and dig and dig and find potatoes here. So let me see what else I can find, and then we'll grade this and see if this was a success or a failure. Okay, so we're just about done with this patch here. I'm sure I'll continue to find potatoes as I rework this, because the intentions are this is going to be quite possibly the garlic bed. But you can see you got your potato, your seed potato there. This is just off 3 plants right here. And you can see the difference in shape here. This was in the ground here. This was in the ground over there. This is what they're supposed to look like. These are deformed because of the soil compaction, rocks, other factors to that. So when it comes to just digging this, making a, all we did was we prepped the soil by removing all the weeds from the bed, going down to native soil, adding 2 bags of certified leaf compost, putting fertilizer on top of that compost, putting your seed potatoes, and then mounding about 1.5 feet of shredded leaves, dry grass clippings, shredded paper, yard waste type of material, covering it and utilizing it as a no-dig method. It works much, much better than digging over there. And plant per plant compared to over there, this was a little bit better than what was over there, and it was a whole lot easier to dig than the ground over there. You just kind of rake the leaves across, or rake the top portion out, and went ahead and pulled the potatoes out without any issue at all. Now, again, we're going to clean this up more as we get ready to plant preferably, probably, most likely garlic in this bed. We'll find a few more potatoes. So, no dig method for planting potatoes, I give it a B+. It's obvious, it did work. We did get potatoes. It wasn't a failure. There's some things that we can tweak on a little bit more and make it better. You can use straw on this as well. So far with our potato harvest, I give it an A-, B+.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.